Hello everyone. We're going to work on some painting today and using kind of an unusual tool to help us paint. But first, before I talk about that, you're going to have a paper and make sure you put your name on the back because these will be wet and I'll have to collect them to dry. Flip it over so your paper is blank. You are each going to get a tray with a sponge that has some black paint, and you're going to get a credit card. And this is the tool that we're going to be painting with today. We are going to be making birch trees. And I don't know if you're familiar with what a birch tree looks like, but I will bet after I describe it, you have seen it before. I actually started to paint one before this video. And a birch tree is a white tree. The bark is white, and it has black areas too, where sometimes the bark peels away. So we're going to be making some birch trees, and we will be making 3. So how you're going to do this, you'll take your card, let me get my sponge in the video, and you're just going to dab it, and then you're going to start at the bottom of your paper, and I know you can't see the whole bottom of my paper, and I'm going to follow that line, line it up again, and I'm just going to make a line all the way up to the top, and don't worry if it makes those little extra black marks, and I'm going to start at the bottom again and make another line that goes up to match it. So now you have the width of your birch tree. Now, like I said, birch trees are distinguished by those black lines, black marks on their white bark. So I'm going to come back to my line and I'm just going to drag it over like that. So I'm going to come back to the line, and my credit card is on a diagonal, and then I just bring it over. I can go to the other side and do the same thing. And I'm going to keep doing that. And if you start to run out of paint, you can go back to your sponge and get a little bit more, but you don't want a ton of, you don't want it to become all black. So there's my first birch tree. And I'm not going to do all 3 in the video, but I am going to start my next one so you can see the steps again. So I'm just going all the way up. And I'll make this one a little bit thinner. And not to worry about how close they are, because we will be cutting these out and putting them onto another paper. Now I take this, and it doesn't matter where I start on my birch tree to do this. But like I've said before, I think the hardest thing about being an artist is knowing when to stop with something, because it ends up being pretty fun doing this, painting in a different way. So I'm going to stop with 2. I hope you have a good idea on how to do your birch trees. When this is done, I'll show you our next step.